the bricks. The latest Medal of Honor winner speaks out about his battle.
And in sports, Gridiron Glory's second round of the postseason coverage is around the corner. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Students protested yesterday for Mizzou students, but they're not stopping there. Good evening, I'm Carly Bell. Thanks for joining us. We got the chance to see what exactly they're hoping to change. Students gathered to march today for the nationwide event, the Student Million March, to protest on various issues, including free public higher education, the cancellation of student debt, and localized demands. Some local demands the students are asking to address includes racism on campus and to rid the use of fossil fuels. Protester Ryan Powers believes all of these demands they're making should be heard and answered.
There are a lot of different forces here. We're all coming together because we all believe in the same thing, which is campus democracy. We think this is our university and we should have a say in how this university is run.
Students will be protesting throughout the night. They are also showing support for the Mizzou students who have recently been facing racial issues. The Ohio University Police Department is mourning after the passing of one of their own. Nathan Van Ort started at Ohio University 15 years ago. He stayed with the OUPD until he was struck by lightning during a charity run in 2006. Van Ort died this past Saturday. He was in a nursing home. His family says they are thankful for the donations and support they received from the Athens community after he was severely injured. There will be a memorial service for Van Ort this Saturday at Albany Baptist Church. Visitation is scheduled to start at 3 o'clock. The city of Athens is looking to expand the age range for police eligibility. The Athens Messenger tells us that the city is hoping to grow their pool of police department applicants currently. The age range is 21 through 35. Now they are hoping to extend the range for those up to 40. Officials say there wasn't anything in particular that prompted the age range expansion. Athens County Commissioner Chris Schmiel will seek re-election in 2016. Schmiel said he believes he has followed through on issues he raised in his 2012 campaign. He said he has also tried to promote the community involvement in government. Schmiel has focused heavily on energy topics and said he has put an effort in making their buildings more energy efficient. Having won the 2012 primary election, Schmiel filed his candidacy petition this week with the Athens County Board of Elections. Ohio Christian University has a new addition tonight. Our partners at the Circleville Herald tell us that the university has a new campus at Hocking Valley Community Hospital in Logan. The campus will be for people who want to pursue a nursing degree. Classes have already begun at the Logan location. OCU is expecting to graduate their first class of nurses in 2017.
And good evening, I'm Jeremy Ludeman from the Newswatch Weather Center. We have had a windy day today throughout the region, folks, and we have wind advisories throughout the region. Some of our counties have had them canceled, but we have wind advisories still in effect until 7 o'clock throughout most of the I-77 corridor. So you folks in Marietta up to New Philadelphia, you are seeing that watch. It's actually a wind advisory, meaning winds could be up to 40 miles an hour and higher gusts. Also included in that is Athens County, Perry County, Vinton County, also Meigs County as well. So all of the information is available on the National Weather Service website. Of course, we're going to give more details on that coming up. 54 in Athens, 25 mile an hour winds right now, dew point at 40 degrees. As we take a look at the current surface around the country, low pressure over the Great Lakes conducting business. The front is through and into western Pennsylvania at this time, and we are going to have more details on if this front is going to continue to move out of the area and if we're going to have a sunny weekend. That's all coming up, Carly.
Ohio Governor John Kasich is back in New Hampshire for 2 days and hopes to win over voters. Kasich stopped in Exeter for a town hall meeting at a retirement center and a First Amendment reception in Concord. Kasich plans to attend town hall meetings in Hudson and Laconia tomorrow. Kasich is still polling among the lower tier of candidates, with only 4 GOP presidential debates behind him. The Ohio Department of Health is helping veterans put out their cigarettes for good. The department is launching an anti-tobacco campaign across the state. Smoking rates among veterans are much higher than the rest of the state's population. Statistics show the smoking rate among veterans 45 to 54 years old is more than 50% higher than that of the average population. More than $3 million has been awarded to Kentucky inmates. The money will provide heroin and prescription drug abuse treatment and an injectable treatment that will prevent relapses. Governor Steve Beshear's office says funds are part of the $10 million authorized by the legislature this year to curb the rise in heroin use and opiate addiction. The money will go to over 10 county jails. One West Virginia town is banning the disposal of oil and gas waste from injection wells within the town's borders. Mount Hope Council approved the ordinance Tuesday. Mayor Michael Kessinger says that the ordinance is a response due to a disposal site in Lockingley that is less than 10 miles from the town. Kessinger said he hasn't been able to find out from state regulators whether it's possible for waste at the disposal site to infiltrate Mount Hope's watershed. ISIS could be losing control in the Middle East, how the Yazidis are strategizing to take over.
Things just felt different that day. I switched everything.
These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
The University of Missouri has appointed a recently retired senior administrator and professor of law to serve as its interim president. 68-year-old Michael Middleton will lead the four-campus university system until a permanent replacement is found. Middleton takes over for Tim Wolf, who resigned Monday amid student-led protests over the university's mishandling of racial complaints. The Columbia campus chancellor R. Bowen Lofton also announced Monday he would leave his position at year's end for a new role at the school. Kurdish forces claim to have taken control of several villages near the ISIS-controlled town of Sinjar, as well as a stretch of the main highway between Mosul and Raqqa. Sinjar is the small but strategically important town that lies just across the border from Syria. It is home to thousands of people from the Yazidi religious minority, which has been mercilessly targeted by ISIS. This video from WOUB TV shows the skyline of Sinjar with the offensive underway. Kurdish officials say 7,500 Peshmerga fighters are involved in trying to retake the town. They are being backed by coalition air support. A retired U.S. Army captain was honored at the White House for his heroic efforts in Afghanistan. Captain Florent Groberg received the Medal of Honor from President Obama today. Captain Groberg and 5 other soldiers were providing security detail in Afghanistan in 2012 when a deadly ambush started to unfold. Here's his story in his own words.
August 8th, 2012 was the worst day of my life. What I hope is going to happen is that I represent the 4 guys that were killed and their families to the best of my ability, and that people understand who they are and they're true heroes in all this. I was a personal security detail officer in charge for the brigade commanders. We were in northeast Afghanistan in the Kunar province in a city called Sadabad. Things just felt different that day. I switched everything in regards to the way we position ourselves. The weird feeling inside, spidey senses are ticking and you're kind of like, all right, I don't like this. We encountered motorcycles coming towards our patrol. When I looked to my left, I saw a young Afghan male. So as soon as he started moving towards our patrol, I left my position to go meet him because he's a threat and I need him away. So I hit him with my rifle, and that's when I felt that he had a vest under his clothing. And so at this point, all I could do, was just get him away as far as we could. So grabbed him by his vest and try to push him down, throw him. And Sergeant Mahoney the whole time follows me into this, and as I'm throwing him down, Sergeant Mahoney's throwing him down, and then he detonated at my feet. And then after that, I was thrown 15, 20 feet, unconscious. You come back and it wasn't near anything. I had blown eardrum. It took me a couple seconds to come back to reality. So I believe I got to Walter Reed around 12 August. They saved my leg. I lost 50% of my calf, so they had to close the wound down, which took a long time to close. They helped me deal with my own internal emotional demons. President Obama came to visit me on September 11, 2012, and he's there with my mother, my father, and one of my best friends. He's so proud of us, and how are things going, and he asked the same thing about my family, how are things going, and that what happened on that day shows the true spirit of the American war fighter and the American and the nation, and just shows that no matter how bad it is, we always figure a way to stand up. I'm just an American doing his job, so that's just the way I look at it. I don't think about it any other way. Just proud and honored to have had the opportunity to wear the colors and serve my country in a time of war.
President Obama presented the medal, saying Groberg managed to summon his best during some of the most dreadful moments of war. In order to pull off the world's biggest beer merger, Anheuser-Busch InBev is preparing to sell off some of its iconic brands to rival Molson Coors in order to take over SAB Miller. The $12 billion deal would give Molson Coors full U.S. control of iconic beer brands like Miller Lite and Coors Light. But the Coors deal won't go through unless the proposed mega merger is first approved by the antitrust regulators. That's because some regulators and analysts worry the new company would have too much power, resulting in higher beer prices. Selling off some key American assets is seen as a move to appease Justice Department officials who will have to approve the merger. On Wall Street today, the stock market could not avoid its second consecutive downslide. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. Just because the holidays are coming down doesn't mean you have to pack on the pounds. How to stay healthy this winter, still ahead.
And we had a windy day throughout the region today. I'll let you know if the winds will calm down for our weekend coming up next on Newswatch. Stay with us.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Jeremy Ludeman from the Newswatch Weather Center. Boy, oh boy, a windy day out there. And we have wind advisories throughout most of the region. Our southern counties until 7 o'clock. Northern counties, 10 o'clock. We'll get to the temperatures in a minute. I'm going to explain a little more for you what's going on. So Franklin and Licking counties no longer under the wind advisory, but that doesn't mean winds won't still be gusting near 30 miles an hour there. The I-77 corridors where we're watching for the wind advisory also. Athens, Meigs, Vinton counties also under that advisory. Guernsey County, Tuscarawas County along the I-70 corridor east of Columbus. That's where the wind advisory will remain. Perry County northward until 10 o'clock. So Morgan County also expiring at 7. So again, please do exercise caution, folks. Winds around 40 miles an hour, possible higher gusts. So bring the lawn furniture in if you haven't already. We do think most of the winds will subside. That's why the advisory has expired. But winds are going to stay around, just not at the high levels that we have been expecting and are seeing today. Currently, we're in the 50s. 50 in Cambridge, 56 in Ironton. Everybody else right in the middle, about so. 54 in Athens, 52 in Ripley, and we've got 51 in New Lex, Chillicothe, and Columbus join Cambridge at 50 degrees. And as we take a look at the almanac for today, our high of 64 degrees was early today, and that was at around 11 o'clock to around noon. The cold front made its presence known, cooled our temperatures down to the 50s. Low of 47 at the airport today. Normals 57 and 37. Our record 77 and our record low 16. As we take a look at the current weatherscape around the country, what you see right now is this low pressure system conducting operations over the Great Lakes. The cold front has marched through the region and is now in in central Pennsylvania, all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. High pressure conducting operations in Texas. Watch that high pressure start to dominate our action as the low pressure goes to the northeast off towards the Canadian Maritimes. Still a slight chance of a shower in the northern counties going up towards Worcester and up towards Cleveland. You might see a shower if you're driving up 71 tonight, but other than that, we're looking good for most of the area. Just windy, folks. And I want to give you a little bit of what's going on Saturday morning. So Friday's going to be a nice day for most of us. And then Saturday, we get this low pressure off. The high pressure there in the south central plains will be controlling a lot of our weather in the Buckeye State and around the Appalachian region. Take a look at the overnight lows. 41 New Martinsville, 39 Ripley, 37 in Chillicothe, 38 New Lex, 38 Newark and Columbus, and we've got 39 in Ripley. As we take a look at the highs tomorrow, 47 to the north in Cambridge, all the way down to 53, the warm spot in Ripley, West Virginia, 49 in Marietta, 47 in New Lex and Perry County. Tonight, 39 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, breezy to windy, 15 to 20 throughout the region from the west. Because the front has come through, the wind's now coming out of the west, switching eventually to the north, which means cooler air, gusts to 35. 39, breezy and dry and chilly for the bus stop tomorrow morning, and 50 our high. Partly cloudy, breezy again, westerly winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. So some of our counties will see a mostly cloudy sky, and we will start to see the clearing skies as we end our week on Friday. 7-day, as you see the front continuing to have its impact, 49 with lows at 30. 30 degrees on Saturday night and Sunday night. Frost or hard freeze possible. And there you go. Early next week, the rain comes back, folks. 62 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday. About a 50-50 shot on Wednesday. 30% chance of rain on Thursday.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. For many of us, there is a chill in the air that Jeremy just spoke, and this cool weather can make outdoor workouts much more inviting. In today's Health Minute, Holly Furfer looks at ways to get fit for fall, both out in the elements or when we have to head indoors.
If you don't like exercising in the summer heat, you may find fall's lower temperatures entice you outdoors to get fit. For many, cooler air makes for a more invigorating workout, whether you're walking, hiking, biking, or doing other sports. Get your heart pumping on park trails, where you can also take in the rich autumn colors. If it snows where you live, cross-country skiing and snowshoeing are great ways to exercise. Raking leaves and doing yard work is another way to burn calories. Often gyms start classes in the fall. With children back to school, parents often have a little more time to devote to exercise. Branch out and try something new. You might find you like it. And you've heard it before, but try to stick with your workout. The goal is to form a habit. Now, studies vary as to how long that takes, but give it a go for the season and you may be well on your way. This time of year also offers us lots of brightly colored seasonal fruits and vegetables. Good fuel to power our cool weather workouts. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
You know, Carter, even with these cool weathers, it's not going to stop that Friday night football, is it?
Oh, not a chance, Carly. And Gridiron Glory's second round of the postseason kicks off this weekend. Find out where our crews are headed next. Ohio men's basketball inked a new recruit for the 2016 season. Stay tuned to find out who Coach Phillips added next on Newswatch. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
My granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
The Bobcats filled their only open scholarship slot that they had for the 2016 season with a 6'7" forward from Johnstown Monroe High School. National Signing Day kicked into action yesterday as the Bobcats inked Jason Carter, who averaged over 20 points per game and 11 rebounds per game in his junior year. Those numbers were enough to earn Carter AP First Team All-OHSAA honors. The Cats open up their regular season this Saturday in the Convocation Center against Florida Gulf Coast. This will be the back end of the home-and-home series between the Cats and the Eagles after Ohio fell last year 79-62. The Ohio Swimming and Diving team will face Marshall at the Ohio Aquatic Center this Friday. The Bobcats took on the Herd last season where they finished the meet with 6 first-place finishes. Marshall is off to a program-best 7-0 record this season. However, the Cats swept the 1,000-yard and 500-yard freestyle in their last meet against Akron and will have to continue this momentum to achieve another win against Marshall. Now on to the course where both men and women's cross-country teams will be competing in the NCAA Regionals in Madison, Wisconsin Friday morning. The men's team placed 5th overall at the Mid-American Conference Cross-Country Championship, while the women's team took 8th. Junior Alex Wynn led the men's team in the 8K race, finishing in 15th place, while junior Ellen Isaac earned second-team All-MAC honors, finishing 8th overall in the women's 5K. On to the NFL and Thursday Night Football, where the New York Jets will host the Buffalo Bills in New York. The teams stack up evenly, with the Jets coming in with a 5-3 record, while the Bills are tied at even 500 with a 4-4 record. The Jets will need to maintain their strong offense and continue their passing game to have success against the Bills. This game will hit close to home for Coach Rex Ryan, the current Bills coach, who will be facing his former team tonight. The Bills have an advantage with Ryan as their coach because he's so familiar with the Jets players. Kickoff is at 8:25 tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers start their 3-game road trip Friday night when they take on the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. The Cavs have already faced the Knicks once this season, topping the Knickerbockers 96-86 at the Q. Cleveland is currently on a 7-game winning streak and sits atop the Eastern Conference. LeBron James and Mo Williams led the way in scoring, finishing with 23 points and 22 points respectively last time they took on the Knicks. Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson added double-doubles of their own. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. The second round of the postseason is upon us, and Gridiron Glory will have all of your highlights and action of the 5 teams left in our coverage area. Alexander and Zane Trace both earned their first ever playoff wins last weekend and now will face each other Friday night at 7:30 at Waverly High School. The Trimble Tomcats travel to Maysville High School to take on Caldwell for the second straight year in the playoffs. In Division III Region 9, Jackson will take on the number 8 seed, the Bishop Watterson Eagles, at Chillicothe High School at 7:30 p.m. The winner will face either Zanesville or St. Francis de Sales. Last but not least, the Tri-Valley Scotties are lined up against the number 1 seeded Massillon Perry Panthers at Dover High School. Kickoff for that is also at 7:30.
You know what, Carter? Even though we do see football flying through the air, there are a few things that do fly through the air, like this skydiver, Fernando Gava's, probably going to need a new jumpsuit. You see that thing hanging from the plane? That's Fernando. Apparently, the leg of his jumpsuit got stuck after he jumped. He was stuck for 30 long minutes. He finally took out a knife and cut off the leg of his jumpsuit and landed safely. Now let's throw it over to Jeremy. Hopefully he won't get stuck in a plane for one last look at weather.
39 tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy to windy, gusts up to 35. Counties on the I-77 corridor under a wind advisory. Northern counties north of New Lexington until 10. Southern counties like here in Athens and Vinton County almost expiring at 7. 50 tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy again. Westerly winds 10 to 15. Let's take a look at your 7-day. 55 on Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, a chance of frost. It will be dry though. Sunday at 55, Monday 58. We moderate into the 60s Tuesday and Wednesday. Lows in the upper 40s for the last couple days of the forecast period. And back to Carly.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Carly Bell. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime online at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.